With the lifting of international nuclear-related sanctions against Iran, companies can enter a new market. But what does this mean for U.S. companies? CCTV's Jessica Stone has our story.
What do Persian carpets, pistachios, and caviar have in common? They'll all be easier for American companies to import once all United Nations, European, and U.S. nuclear-related sanctions are lifted. Attorney Wynn Siegel advises companies that want to do business in Iran. He works for the law firm Aiken, Gump, Strauss, Hauer & Feld, where he says there's plenty of interest in investing in Iran, but
I think what we will see from the U.S. business community is an enormous amount of frustration.
Frustrated because even after the UN certifies that Iran has met its obligations under the nuclear deal, he says U.S. companies will only be able to get licenses to do business in agriculture, medicine and medical equipment, energy, technology, and aviation. The U.S. government won't drop its sanctions prohibiting individual Americans from doing business with Iran.
There are pockets of commercial opportunity. But what's important also to recognize is the core U.S. embargo that we're talking about not changing is grounded in legislation enacted by Congress. And so it would take an act of Congress to remove the most fundamental features of the U.S. embargo on Iran.
So are you saying that implementation day helps foreign companies more than U.S. companies?
Yes.
That is frustrating, I would think, for the U.S. business community.
Yes.
With around 78 million people and more than 1.5 billion barrels of oil reserves, Iran is no market to ignore. Companies like Apple, General Electric, and Hewlett-Packard have all reportedly made inquiries. An American aircraft maker, Boeing, stands to benefit as flag carrier Iran Air tries to keep its fleet of Boeing jets airborne. But companies must also weigh the possibility that both EU and U.S. sanctions are designed to snap back into place if Iran reneges on the agreement.
Right now, the risk is enormous because the U.S. sanctions on Iran are comprehensive. They provide civil and criminal penalties and liabilities for companies that ignore them and get it wrong.
Siegel says the financial services sector is already very skittish about lending to companies doing business in Iran, but U.S. energy companies are likely to find Iran's oil reserves irresistible over the long term. Jessica Stone, CCTV, Washington.